So I'm gonna start just a little bit in French with my team, and after Mel have a little presentation. So
Oui, oui.
oui, oui. So, merci à tous d'être ici ce soir. Je suis vraiment, vraiment contente d'avoir Caleb avec nous. Je trouve que tout le monde aussi l'est. There's Oops. Mute, mute. Mute. OK, perfect. So, je suis sûre, moi je trouve ça drôle quand les gens comprennent absolument pas qu'est-ce que je dis. Oubliez pas de vous muter, gang, s'il vous plaît. Donc, j'ai eu la chance de rencontrer Caleb sur le bateau rapidement. Attends, on va... Maman Laval, je sais pas c'est qui. Just make sure that everyone is mute, please. Okay, perfect. So I had the chance to meet you, Caleb, on the ship really quickly. So I'm really, really happy to have you on this call. I'm really honored. So I'm gonna quick pass to Melanie for a little presentation.
Yeah, you'll see me as Charles. I don't know why I got Charles. It's my son's name, but okay, Charles is here. So hi, everyone. Hello, Caleb. It's we've met before, but I'll say all of this in my introduction. Thank you for being with us. I wanted to take the time to make a little mini introduction because I feel that you work so hard and put so much effort in everything that you do, like your YouTube videos. They are awesome. Our team appreciates it enormously. I don't know, sometimes there's a language barrier, but the message comes across with the way you say things. It's straightforward, it's funny, but you have a lot to give, and that's absolutely fantastic. So just give me one moment. I'm going to share my screen here and introduce you to the team for those who may not know who Caleb is. So Caleb Thomas from Team Epic Every Rep. Caleb lives in Pennsylvania, and as you see here with his lovely dog, we got to see him live on the video. He's a dog owner, he's aviator. I think I appreciate that. I'm a flight attendant, so I thought it was pretty cool. I took my lessons too, so when I saw that, it's something I did not know about you. Firearms collector, gunsmith. Us Canadians, we don't know about that. Something really big in the States, but right on. Fitness nut, hardworking. I couldn't agree more. For the rest of the team that doesn't know Caleb here, this is his hard work. He did an impulse buy. He worked really hard to be the product of the product, and I think that's amazing. I think it's super important for everyone to do and follow. You won $1,000 with the Beachbody Challenge. That's amazing. And then you were able also to create videos for the latest infomercial for Body Beast. That's really cool. Congratulations. And I took a quote from your site, your passion for coaching is real. I couldn't agree more. Everything that I see that you do absolutely represents you. If you are not being yourself, well, you're a really good actor. So it's really good. This is when we met last summit, and I have to say a little story about this because everyone's bombarding you, and I'm like, holy smokes. The girl that's with me is Catherine, and another awesome team leader for our team. And Marie-Claude, after Summit, was really big on trying to contact coaches and get them all fired up for team calls. And I was like, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to contact Caleb. And I tried twice. And you never replied back. I was like, oh my God, I don't have her status. I can't do this. So when she told me that you called her back and she said, yeah, I'll do the call, I was like, oh, well, that's it. Maybe it's the hair color I'm missing. I don't know. But I wanted to talk about this.
I'm sorry.
I wanted to talk about this because I felt that, I don't know what you were talking about today, but I wanted to make a quick little, I saw this on your Facebook, and I thought it was important because I think it's so important for a lot of our coaches. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to read everything that you wrote, but I want them to see it afterwards so they could go through it and read it. But just to say that I thought it was amazing that you had shared that with everyone, saying, you know, you had goals and you were trying to push through, and you didn't reach them, but you still gained a lot from it, and you never gave up. And I think that is such an important message. So for the rest of the team, if you could go see what he wrote, it's absolutely amazing, and thank you for that. So enough of me. I'm turning the call on to you. Thank you again, and look forward to seeing what you have to say.
Okay, so this is when I talk to a bunch of French hotties.
Yeah, but we understand.
We understand.
Okay, so this is really exciting for me. This is like my first multilingual. Well, yeah, this is like my first multilingual call. So,
well, you replied back to the comment I put today. So I was like, oh, he knows a little bit, right?
Well, Facebook has that helpful translation button. Not gonna lie.
Okay,
You're good.
But anyway, I'm gonna apologize ahead of time because I am super passionate about team calls, and I'm super excited about coaching, and I love what we do, and I get talking really fast sometimes. So if I'm like completely leaving you guys in the dust, just be like, "Yo, Caleb, shut up and let us bring it down a level, and we can talk or whatever." But I'm just gonna go for it. And I kind of want to ask you guys for some feedback right off the bat. I have a team plan called, or a team call planned for you guys. I have a whole script that I could go through and talk about, but I wanted to kind of leave it up to you because we haven't really figured out exactly what we wanted to do. Do you guys just want to do like a back and forth conversation and ask questions, or do you want me to just take it and run with it, or what do you think?
Take it and do some tough love.
Okay, tough love. All right. Well, there's lots of love mixed into this. How about that? Okay, so I guess I'll give you a little bit of my story first and kind of introduce myself in my own way. For those of you that don't know me yet, my name's Caleb Thomas. Before I even start that, I just want to say thanks. Thanks for having me on this call. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks for not giving up on me when I said no or ignored you. My life is crazy busy with all the interactions and things going on, but I'm super humbled to be in front of you guys and talk to you. You women, you gals, I'm super excited to be here, and hopefully I can leave you with something that will help you guys and really encourage you and teach you something. That's the end goal. So my name's Caleb Thomas. I'm the funny YouTube guy. I'm the guy that makes the videos. I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm 26 years old. That's a lie. I'm actually 28 years old now. Woo! I've been a coach for 3 years now. I absolutely love what I do, like I said. And the funny thing about my story is I'll skip over exactly how I got started, but I said no to this opportunity for 3 years. So if you think about it, like I've been a coach for 3 years and I said no for the same amount of time. And that just that shakes me up because I don't I'm not hard on myself, and I don't think where could I have been if I had just said yes when I first got invited. But can you imagine? So that's your first point of encouragement that I want to leave you with on this team call. So show of hands, who's ever invited somebody and they're just like, no, they want nothing to do with your invitation? Yeah, lots of you guys. Lots of you have extended invitations to people, and you see them and you believe in them, and you believe in them before they even believe in themselves, and you're so excited about their potential, and then they're just like, no. They just immediately shut you down, and it's heartbreaking. I was that kind of person. I was that guy. So if my coach had given up on me on the first week or the second week or the 6th month or the 3rd year of inviting me and believing in me, I wouldn't be here with you guys. I wouldn't be here talking to all of you beautiful people because he had just given up on me. But he didn't, and that's why I'm here. So I want to encourage you guys, if there's people out there that you're talking to that don't believe in this opportunity with you and don't want to have anything to do with it with you, don't give up on those people, because they could be your very next rock stars. Okay. That's your first point. As soon as I got started as a coach, I got started in all the wrong ways. I bought my DVDs off of some guy on the street. We did this really shady gas station swap. You know, he gave me the DVDs. I gave him money. It was like a drug deal, but for DVDs. It was super bad. And that's how I got started. That's another point of encouragement. Don't give up on the people that don't get their products through you, because you could be missing out on a great future coach or a great future challenger. But I got started in all the wrong ways. I came into this business just looking to make money. Honestly, if I'm being real, like, I was desperate. I was in a terrible place financially, and I just wanted to make money. And I showed up to this thing thinking, hey, just give me a paycheck and I'll be happy. And I realized, however, really quickly that this was so much more than just a way to make some money. Like, the financial opportunity is huge. Yes, if you haven't heard about it, you are sitting on a freaking gold mine of potential here. That's not why we're here to begin with. We're here to help people. But it extends so much farther than just money and helping people. Like, this is an amazing, amazing thing to be a part of. And I don't want you guys to ever lose sight of what we have going here. Like, we're not like other companies. We are not like other companies. We are part of something so, so, so important and so powerful and so significant in the lives of so many people. And it is literally just getting started. So that's exciting. Be encouraged, be empowered by that thought. But as soon as I became a coach, I realized really quickly that I could be myself. Like, I could be Caleb Thomas. I could own the person who I was. And up to that point in my life, all the jobs and things and career paths that I tried pursuing, I could never really do that. Like, I was a server at a restaurant, at a steakhouse. I built homes with a guy. I did yard work. I did all sorts of odds and end jobs that held me back. I couldn't really be my personality. I couldn't be like wild and zany Caleb Thomas. I had to be somebody else because somebody else was telling me how to be. And I hated that. And I realized this whole idea of branding, like, really, really early on in my business. I realized that I could be whatever I wanted to be in this business, and it could work. Like, I could make me work in this business. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. I'm just going to touch on this. I want to kind of just go through this talk really quickly and get to questions, because I love interacting with people more than anything. But some of the biggest things I learned was that, this branding stuff that we're talking about, this is just a matter of us being us, or you being you unapologetically, and not second guessing it, and not holding back, and just owning the person that God created you to be, and just being like cool with that, and be like, hey, this is who I am, and I'm going to own it and put it in front of you guys, and you can take it or leave it. But here's the cool thing. When you do that, people take it. People take it, because there are so many people in this world that conform, and there's so many people in this world that just go with the flow and just be like everybody else, and just like blend in, and just try to do this like stupid thing where they conform into this personality that they're never supposed to be. And you guys have an opportunity with Beachbody coaching to be yourself and thrive because of it. Be yourself and just accomplish so much through that simple action. So we're going to ask a couple questions, and I'm just going to kind of answer them really quickly for you, and just kind of do this dialogue conversation with myself. So what is branding yourself? Let's start really, really, really basic. What's branding yourself? I mean, you always hear people talking about being yourself and, leaving your mark on the world and standing out and making this business work for you. And those are all great, but I define branding yourself way more simply and way less vaguely. Being you, is your brand. You being yourself and calling that your brand is your brand. Does that make sense? I mean, this is such a simple topic, but it's nobody thinks about it. Like, nobody really like takes the time to think about this topic. Like, just be yourself. You're going to hear that over and over and over again on this call. And why is this even important? Why is being ourselves even important? It's kind of like when you go to, hey, Sheila, stop back. Sorry, she's tearing up the closet. Come here, Sheila. Touch. Come on, up. Sorry, intermission. Up. Okay, she's back. All right. So why is this whole branding deal even important? It's so important for us, because if you don't have a brand, if you're not yourself and you're somebody else, you can't stand out. Plain and simple. It's like Honda, or what's a really big car dealership up in your area?
Same as you guys.
Okay, same as you guys. We're neighbors, whatever. Okay, so Honda, like, you go to a Honda dealership because you want to drive a Honda, and you know that if you go to a Honda dealership, you're going to find Honda cars. Or you go to a Ford dealership, you're going to find Ford cars at a Ford dealership, because they have that brand established and you know what to expect from them. It's so, like, this is such a basic, stupid, simple concept, but we don't apply it to ourselves with our businesses. Like, we got to show the world what we have to offer just by being us, being uniquely us. And that's a powerful thing. It's kind of cool to think about this. And I am jumping all over the place here, and I have no idea if it's making sense to you guys, but I'm a man of faith. I'm a very spiritual person. I believe really strongly that we were created. We were created for a purpose. We were created for a reason. And not only that, but we were created differently from every other person on this planet. Like, there are 7.5 billion people on this planet, and no single person is the same as the other. Like, nobody. Like, just even on this call, like, everybody has a different name, and some of the names are really, really hard for me to pronounce. Utila Satur. Is that right?
No, that's not a name.
Oh, it's not a name? Okay. Well, man, it's like, what does that mean?
It just means the user of the computer.
It's awesome. I'm such a stupid American. Okay, that's good. Okay, anyway, like, everybody is Utila Satur equals user. You're like, you are such an idiot. So, like, okay, totally just derailed my entire talk. You guys, like, you are all, I'm looking at your pictures right now. Some of them are live, some of them are just generic, like your photos. You're all different. Like, you don't even look the same. I mean, even if you're twins, even if you're identical twins with somebody else, everything about you is different from your twin. Really, if you think about it, like, okay, yeah, maybe there's some chromosomes that line up, but you are a different person from everybody else out there. And as a business owner, as a Beachbody coach that's trying to make an impact on the world, why not use that to your advantage? Seriously, It's such a powerful thing. It's such a powerful thing. And that's why this is so important. So what, okay, like that's why it's important. We understand what it means now, but what's an example? Like, give us a plain example, Caleb. Okay, so my brand is, I make YouTube videos, and I have a dog, and I have a sense of humor, and I live in Pennsylvania, and
you are able to do a video and put something in the nose?
Yeah, exactly. Like all these little things that, most people don't even think twice about. Like, oh yeah, sure, he makes videos, or yeah, sure, he's got a dog, or yeah, he's got blue eyes, or what, all these little things that make me. When you put them all together, that becomes a brand. Mm-hmm. That becomes a brand. And the coolest thing that I'm gonna give you an analogy. Has anyone seen me do the lock analogy?
Nope.
Okay, good. So this is just like a regular combination lock. You guys have these things up there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is just a regular lock, and it has these dials on it, and the dials have numbers, and the numbers just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Did I get it right?
Good.
Yes. I totally just pulled that out from 5th grade French class. Okay. So the numbers on them are just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, back 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and nothing fancy about those numbers, right? Those numbers represent things that make you you. Okay. This lock represents you, and the numbers on these dials represent little things that make you you. Now, when I said those numbers, did any of them like leap out at you and like stand out and go like, oh my gosh, because of that number, that is why that lock works? No. Like, there was no number that jumped out. There was nothing fancy about any of those things. Like, number 1 could represent dog owner. Number 2 could represent guy. He's a guy. Number 3 could represent he makes YouTube videos. Number 4 is he lives in Pennsylvania, whatever. But when you put all of those numbers, as unexciting as they are on their own, when you put them all into the right combination, that is what makes the lock work. Okay? It's the same thing for us as coaches. Don't spend all your time searching for that one magical thing that's going to make you stand out, or that, oh gosh, if I just had blonde hair, or if I just did this, or if I just made YouTube videos, or if I just had this name, or if I just, then I could have a brand. Then I could be a successful Beachbody coach. That's not how this works. That's not how this works. You have everything you need just by being the person you are right now. If you own it, if you be yourself unapologetically, you can unlock this business for yourself, okay? It works for you too. This combination thing, it applies to everybody, okay? Next topic. Sorry, I am really scatterbrained. I'm so nervous that I'm like speaking English and no one's understanding what I'm saying.
No, well, we're getting it. But on a side note to that, I really appreciate what you're saying on that, because I brought my brother on the cruise with me, and he's not a coach. I had asked him a few times. He was not interested. And he's seeing everyone there, and he's like, people go to the gym, people are running. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I thought Beachbody was only about these programs. And I'm like, well, no, we're promoting health and fitness, and everyone does it in their own way, and you just got to be yourself. And he's like, oh, really? And then we went to see the top 10 coach presentation, and it really got to him. Like, he was listening to everyone. He was like, oh, you could really just be yourself and be a coach and do this. And I was like, yes. Clearly, I'm not passing the message on clear enough to everyone. But yes, that is important, because people will see through you if you're not yourself, right? And well, he signed. So he signed up to coach, and I'm really excited about that. And he has to take his time, but he's like, you know what? I just want to be myself, and I have all these plans with what I want to do. Because I showed a few videos of guy coaches and what they do, and he's like, yeah, but I want to do what I want to do. And I'm like, perfect.
Rock on. He gets it. He gets it. And that's another point I wanted to kind of make is, we, like, for some reason, we fall into this stupid trap. And I just mentioned this on one of my videos the other day. We fall into this stupid trap of thinking we have to be a certain way to be a coach. Like, we think we have to, like, conform into this image of like, it's kind of over here. Okay, let me get my face over here. Like, that's what we have to do to be a coach. And that's bullcrap. That's like, it's junk. It's garbage. That's so not true. Like, and I think that's like becoming my personal mission as a coach within this community, is to get that message out there that stop being like everybody else. Seriously. Like, you are freaking beautiful and unique and gifted and talented, and you have amazing experiences that other people don't have. And all of these things are so worth putting out there, but people don't put it out there because they're just like, well, that's what she's doing, so I'll do that too. It's like, stop it. Like, stop it right now. That's just stupid, okay? And I think that's kind of like the whole overriding theme of what tonight's conversation is about. Like, I want you guys to walk away. Let's just cut to the end. I want you guys to walk away from this call empowered with the idea that you're beautiful, that you're talented, that you're skilled, that you have amazing experience, that God designed you exactly the way you're supposed to be, and you are already that person right now to absolutely blow this thing up and be an amazing coach and help so many people. Like, if you get nothing else from this call, I want you to get the idea that you can be an amazing coach. You can be an amazing leader. You can be an amazing life changer just the way that you are right now, if you just believe that and act with that in mind, and just and own it. Like, be like, hey, maybe I won't please everybody that I interact with. Maybe I won't make friends with everybody that I come across, but I know there's people out there that I can help just by being the person that I am and telling my story. And I'm going to move forward with that in mind. I think that's a really cool thing to realize in this business. I don't know. Just me?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. You tell in your video, I think it was today, because I posted in my group, that grow a lot in that business. You were not you grew up spiritually a lot. You do a lot of the personal development. Can you give us the one book that you can that it's your favorite one?
That's the hardest question ever. Like, what's my favorite personal development book? Why'd you ask that? So I would say, so I'll give you the response that I always give when someone's like, what's your favorite book, or what book would you recommend? I can't recommend a specific book for you, because what may be speaking to me or what may have changed my life might not speak to you the same way. It's kind of like if I were to recommend a book that totally changed my life because it taught me time management skills, and you were like the most organized and managed person, you'd be like, that's great. Good job. Like, that doesn't help me at all. But maybe a book about belief or passion or spiritual walk or any other topic could be great for you. So when someone's asking me what book to read, I always tell them, think about what you need to work on. Like, have a really honest conversation with yourself and just ask, what do I suck at? Like, what am I really bad at right now? And what books address that issue? And I think that's a super mature conversation that you've got to have as a leader. You've got to have as a Beachbody coach. You've got to have as, no, only 10 minutes left. What? You've got to go through that question and be honest with yourself and answer that. And, I think that's the best way. Now I'll answer the question as you want me to answer it. My favorite book of all time is The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. I see a couple people shaking their head. That book just totally transformed how I think about like everything. It touched on every area of my life and how I treat everything. Like, it really changed the game for me. So if you haven't read it, I'd recommend it regardless of whether I knew you needed it or not. The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. If you haven't, and guys, this is just, going beyond the whole like specific books. If you're not doing personal development, ouch. Why? Like, you guys have to, and they didn't put me up to this. Your coaches and your leaders didn't put me up to saying this. You guys are missing out on so freaking much if you have not jumped into personal development. It will change everything for you. It will. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say. And I'm not just like saying this stuff. Like, personal development will change so much for you, because your business, okay, if we're just talking about business, your business will only grow as much as you. Like, this is you and you're here. Your business can't go any farther unless you grow up. Okay. You have to like constantly be growing yourself, or you're gonna stop. You're gonna stop growing, and then you'll be like, "Why isn't my business working?" It's because you only have a certain capacity as a person. You haven't grown. That's it's so important. It's so important. And oh gosh, so many people are like, "Oh no, I don't need personal development. That's not for me. I got this. We're good." And you of all people need personal development more than anyone. If you're like, "I got this," you're like, no, you need it more than you realize. Like, that's a pure indicator that you need it.
I think it goes back a bit to what you were saying before. You become a coach and you're just a coach, but I feel like it's so much more. You grow so much as a person. I never used to do personal development before, and I do it now as a coach. And I think everyone on the planet should, because maybe we'd be living in a better world, right?
Yes. Yes.
So for me, when I say do personal development, I truly mean it, because I wish everyone would, not just because they're coaches. So I think that's so important. And it brings you so much more in life as a person. As a coach, you meet so many people, you learn so much more, you open so many more doors in this business. But by always, like you said, coming back to being your true self. And I think when you are, people see that and they feel it, and that's how you expand and you grow.
Yeah. I mean, so a big part of my brand, since we're talking about brands tonight, a big part of who I am is being really open and raw with my audience, and just hey, look at that. Awesome. Mine's right up here. A big part of me, and I think why so many people, and I say this humbly, why so many people follow me is because I put myself out there. I say what is on my heart, and I just put it out there, and sometimes it's not pretty, and sometimes it's super uncomfortable. And there are so many times where I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm posting this, but I post it anyway. And that connects with people. And I could never have ever imagined doing that if I had not grown through personal development to a person that was bold enough to do that. If I had not grown enough to see that, like, a big thing that I really believe is, like, this is bigger than just you. Like, this business is not just about you. Like, this business, you are in a much bigger thing than yourself, not just even in this company. Like, you play a role in this world that is like a crazy ripple effect. And I would have never really gotten that concept had it not been for personal development. I mean, it's put so many things into works, it has put so many things in motion in my mind that I never had before in my life. I never had the slightest idea of any of that without personal development.
You know who you are, so I think it's because of that you're able to put yourself like that. You don't care, and you just, like, you follow me if you wanted to, unfollow me if you don't like. So that's it.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah.
I like that.
So I guess, my team, my call is I kind of wrapped it. I mean, I did a terrible job of actually doing my call because I just jumped all over the place. But a couple tips for you guys with this whole branding thing. Pick what you want to talk about. Think about what makes your life, and then stay consistent and just put it out there over and over and over again. And don't discredit yourself, and don't downplay the value of just being yourself, and be confident and trust in the fact that somebody out there is going to see what you're doing, and they're going to follow you because of it. And just do it. Just put yourself out there. What it comes down to is you gotta be you. And here's the last. We have got 3 minutes and 33 seconds left. The last little thing I want to share with you guys, and then maybe we can do a quick question. If you decide to walk away from this, or you decide to quit, or maybe you don't quit and you just kind of sit on the sidelines and you just say, I don't know if I can go all in with this. I just want to, do a little bit of business. I don't really want to go for it. If you decide to do any of those things, there's somebody out there in your circle of influence that will only get their opportunity if you give it to them. Like, it wouldn't matter if all of us on this call went to that person in your circle of friends and said, hey, this is an opportunity for you. Like, you could be an amazing, you could do so much. It doesn't matter, because none of us could communicate to that person. You can. So if you walk away and you decide not to give somebody their opportunity, that person doesn't ever get their opportunity. And then what happens to them? So you have a very real responsibility as a Beachbody coach, whether you knew it or not, and whether you wanted to hear that or not. You guys have a really serious job as a Beachbody coach. And I want you to leave this call and take it seriously. And remember that in those moments where you're doubting yourself, and remember that in those moments where you're like discouraged and things just aren't happening and your business is growing so slow. There's somebody out there that can only relate to you. And it's your job to find that person, and never give up until never. Ever. Yeah.
Hey, so thank you so much. We're less than a minute, and I don't want that cup in the face like that.
No, and I have one last thing, because you're talking about being yourself. So I'm going to share something else with the team, because I strongly feel that when I heard cannonball, one day I happen to be right there.
I hope that it's not gonna come.
Okay, you see here? This is me. I happen to be there, and all I hear is cannonball. I turn around, I'm like, of course, that's awesome. Totally being yourself, and I got to see it live, and I thank you for being who you are.
Hey.
Thank you so much, sincerely. I think it's gonna help us for sure, our team.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for having me here, and I love you guys, and you're amazing, and you're valuable, and you're beautiful, and go out there and change some lives.
And we're gonna see you the April 20.
Yes.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.